there's some plays he's going to want to have back. I'm glad he hung in there, made some plays for us down the stretch, 3 straight touchdown drives at the end of the game. I'm sure a lot of people wanted him on the bench at that point. I could hear it. And he stuck with him, and he comes back and has 3 straight drives for touchdowns. And that's the Jake Browning I know. He's resilient. He'll stare adversity in the face. You can count on him to keep bouncing back. Obviously, we got to protect the ball better to be able to beat a team of that caliber. But to sit here and say I'm not proud of our football team for the way that they fought back, that wouldn't be true. I'm extremely proud of these guys, the way that they continue to fight.
Who thinks that it's his time to fly? Baby, it's the backup guy. Who's gonna let it go? You know, baby, it's the backup guy. He can make you cringe. He can make you cry. He will lift you up, then lay you down to die. Something in his mind says that I can be like Joe, so he tries to be a quarterback hero. Game after game, who holds you back? Baby, it's the backup guy. No need to add a quarterback, cause we got the backup guy. He will stare you down just to let you know, as a cornerback, where the ball will go. Something keeps him going, a form of lunacy, but his play could be the end of me.
Welcome to the Number One Bengals podcast, and we have breaking news. The Cincinnati Bengals have traded for Joe Flacco. Yes,
breaking the hearts of many a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and breaking the hearts and minds of many a Baltimore Ravens fan, and breaking the backbone of every Pittsburgh Steelers fan. This is the biggest thing to come out of Cincinnati Bengals news, I would say, Daddy, for the past maybe 4 weeks, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah. So, look, let's just recap real quick.
Let's recap,
So the Bengals got Joe Flacco.
The Flacco.
Cleveland Brown.
He don't take no Flacco.
And they haven't traded for since the Browns came back to Cleveland. He was their starting quarterback to start the season, but they have moved on, and they have gone with a rookie. Flacco, of course, had a magical run with the Browns a couple of years ago, and he was able to keep them in contention. He got them into the playoffs. He won 5 of 6 games, I believe. He was pretty solid. He showed that he still has a strong arm. And this against the Bengals, he looked okay at certain points, but really, anything would be an upgrade over Jake Browning, who you sang about in that intro.
Yeah. So the problem with Jake Browning is
they had to do something. Yeah.
The problem with Jake Browning is not Jake Browning. The problem is that Jake Browning is out of his league. So what you're seeing as incompetency is that he's a great quarterback for a much lower league than the NFL. He's not even a great backup quarterback
in high school. Let's be very clear.
No. Hold on. Yeah. Here's the thing. And so a lot of the things that he seems like a gunslinger, that's desperation. Okay. Now, Daddy, can I just say one thing? And this is really important.
Yeah.
I'm not an I told you so kind of guy. But do you remember when I said in the draft, why don't they draft a quarterback? And everybody, this is the problem. Bengals fans have this weird thing. It's like church for them. When they have a quarterback, it's got to be one God, one quarterback. And we have Joe Burrow. And I remember saying on this show to you and to the great double-brained John Sheeran, I said, well, what if Joe Burrow goes down? And you guys laughed and said, well, if that happens, the team goes down. Well, we invested in Jamar Chase.
Did go down.
We invested in Jamar Chase. We invested in T. Higgins. We invested in Trey Hendrickson. In a professional football league, you don't just go down when one player goes down. What you do is you have a solid backup quarterback who can take you through at least 4 or 5 games, and we do not have that. But now with Joe Flacco, we do.
Yes, look, here's the thing. Is he better than Jake Browning?
Yes.
I would say, well, he is a better quarterback than Jake Brown.
Everybody compared Joe Burrow to Joe Flacco when he's in his first year.
Joe Flacco is 40 years old. He'll
Okay,
be 41.
40 years young.
He'll be 41 in January.
Okay.
And he was never a fast, very athletic quarterback. He's
Okay.
really not got a lot left. And this Bengals offensive line is not good. So he's going to have, Browning was more mobile. Let's just get that out of the way.
Sure.
However, Browning, it's kind of like, the Wizard of Oz if he only had a brain. He's got the arm, he's got decent legs, he just doesn't have the brain. Which also applies to Zach Taylor. And, of course, with Joe Burrow, it's if he only had ligaments.
Right.
Because he's losing all of them. His wrist, his toe, his knee.
Now-
But the point is this.
Yeah.
Is that Flacco knows his limitations, and if he sees Jamar Chase or T. Higgins streaking, he knows when to just chuck it up there and let them make a play. He's not going to throw 3-4 interceptions a game. He's only throwing 1.5 interceptions a game, which is a big upgrade.
Yeah. I didn't say that Joe Flacco is a great starting quarterback. He's a perfectly fine backup quarterback, which is what the Bengals did not have. And I think they should have drafted it when I told them to, way back last year when I was talking about this, or back when the draft was happening, when I talked about this. But here's another thing I want to raise. I hear a lot of Bengals fans because I listen to the Twitter and things like that, and I hear them lamenting the fact that we're going to win some games because they say this is going to delay the firing of Zach Taylor maybe by 4 or 5 years. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Let's be very clear. We never know when it's going to be Joe Burrow's last year, when it's going to be these.
Yeah.
This is probably Trey Hendrickson's last year. Why would you not want to make... Listen, Joe Flacco can win half your games. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
He can win you half of the games.
He can win this upcoming game.
Browning probably would not have won more than 2 games this year.
No, he would have won no games.
Probably no games.
0 games.
0 games max.
There is no team that Browning at this point can beat.
Browning is done as a starter in this league. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the age limits are in high school, but he would still be amazing in high school.
We need another backup quarterback.
But listen, hold on. Flacco is the guy they chose. They did not look into Russell Wilson. They did not look into Jameis Winston. And the reason is probably because they didn't want to give up a lot of draft capital. So they got the guy they could get.
So they gave up a 5th round pick.
I think in the end, it might have been the smartest move. If Flacco, if he can navigate that pocket with that offensive line, what's funny is there was a stat by our good friend Andrew at Green Gridiron, and he was sharing this stat. I love Andrew. Yes, good friend of the show. He was sharing the Gridiron Grading. I'm sorry, Gridiron Grading. He was sharing the stat that Flacco was second to last, 32 of 33 QBs when it came to EPA per play. Okay, fair.
Okay.
Browning was last, 33 of 33. However, when kept clean, Flacco was about the average quarterback, according to Pro Football Focus.
That's
and
all
Browning,
we need.
guess what Browning was? Because everybody
33.
says Browning knows how to run the offense, the Zach Taylor
he
offense.
doesn't.
Guess where he was?
33.
Yes. He was the last QB when it came to... So the point is, if they can keep the pockets clean, guess what? Flacco is average, and with these receivers, he's going to be above average.
Yeah. Don't put no Tootsie Rolls in there. Don't put no lifesavers in there. Don't put no lint in there. Keep those pockets clean. Now, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about this.
I do too.
It's Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor, this is a Hail Mary.
This is a Hail Mary.
To his job.
And you know why he chose Flacco?
He chose Flacco because Flacco is...
It's not just draft picked.
No. I don't know if he chose Flacco,
they
but
wanted,
he's happy with Flacco.
No, this was strategic.
By the way, did you know Flacco's going to start? He's going to start right away.
Yeah.
And
let me tell you why.
Zach said about him?
What did he say?
He said he's a veteran. He's got a very strong arm.
He does.
He had a lot of really good things to say about him.
He's the Joe Burrow of the 90s. Now, here's the thing about Joe Flacco.
Well, don't push it.
Now, here's the thing about Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was in the AFC, fill in the blank. North. And that matters. It's not something that a lot of fans think about, but something that coaches think about.
Right.
The defenses that he has played are the defenses that we're going to play.
True.
So that's why he can be basically inserted into the Bengals offense. and he's going to know those
Yes.
defenses. It was a very wise
true.
move.
Very good
And
point.
also,
Very
he's a
good
player.
point.
He is also a player who plays like Joe Burrow, more
He has
than
played
other
for-
options. He has his style. He
I
is
don't know if
a.
he doesn't really play like Joe Burrow. I feel like he doesn't play like Joe Burrow. He's more of a statuesque, old school.
I'm not talking about the escaping the
Yeah.
pocket. What I'm talking about is that he
plays with
is-
guts.
He plays with guts and glory.
I
And he's a
agree.
smart passer.
I will tell you this: I have thought Flacco is underrated. You can go back and watch it. Go watch all of
Yeah.
our old shows, and you will find that I've often said he's underrated
Yeah.
because he's a phenomenal postseason quarterback. Now, hopefully, we
is.
don't need him in the postseason, but he's
No.
a phenomenal postseason quarterback.
Yes.
Nobody can deny that.
No.
He was not only good in that Super Bowl run, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
There you go.
Best ever. Only
Ever.
person who could even touch it was Joe Montana.
Right.
Not only that, but in the subsequent postseasons, he was still very, very good. He was very
And
good.
he's been around as long as our
beloved.
show's been around.
Yeah, and everybody loves him. That's true.
I love him.
Actually, my first video on this channel was
Yeah.
comparing Andy Dalton to
To Joe
guys like Flacco, and yeah. But listen,
And you remember when I talk about the church, we were from the beginning we were saying we got to get rid of Andy Dalton,
Right.
and these Cincinnati home fries were all up in our face.
they were listen, Hoji.
And I'm telling you now, if you don't solve this backup QB problem after Flacco,
Yes.
you're always going to suffer. You can't keep Joe Burrow in your way. There, you got to have a good backup QB. Now, Joe Flacco hopefully will be the guy for this year. But as you said, the man will be 41. So
Right.
they got the number one thing they're going to have to draft is not an offensive lineman. The number one thing to draft is a backup QB.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's what you got to do. And you got to
Listen.
start thinking about life after Burrow.
Okay, we got a game coming up. It's the Packers.
Packers.
Okay.
What do they
Green Bay
pack?
Packers,
Cheese.
They pack cheese.
Yeah.
And that cheese, it stinks.
It's stinky
It just
cheese.
stinks. It gets you. And they have Micah Parsons.
put it
and
in
that
our
guy
pockets.
Is a sack machine. And
Yeah.
our offensive line situation is really bad with handling good pass rushes. We're pretty
It's as
good
good
with
as
the
my
terrible
diapers.
pass- Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Oji,
Yeah.
I need to get your prediction. But before we get to your prediction,
Okay.
I want to take a quick break to
Uh-oh.
acknowledge we have a patron, a new patron of the week, newly
love you,
minted,
sir.
crowned
Or
patron
man.
of the week.
Talk
I'm
to me.
talking about John Gordos,
Gordo.
patron of the week, new patron.
Yeah.
He is in the Amarius Mims category,
There you
tier
go.
of being a patron. I want to celebrate
Yeah.
him and all of our patrons. And
John
of course,
Gordo-
that beautiful song that Dr. Hoji sang,
We salute you.
which, by the way, we published this morning.
Yeah.
And shortly after it came out, I'm not going to say this was the reason, but the Bengals made the trade.
I know.
After we sung
was the
about
reason.
Jake Browning, yes, it was. And so
We have the ear.
We have the new patron of the week. Anybody else who wants to be the patron of the week and join can go to patreon.com/sports, DHsports. Patreon.com/DHsports.
Yeah.
Don't go to sports.
No.
They have enough patrons. Dr. Hoji, what is your prediction for the game against the Packers, who are one of the better teams in the league right now?
They are, and they're a hard one to
yes.
beat.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be the comeback game. But I think there will be a comeback game, but it's not going to be this one. Hold on, let me get rid of these glasses.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be the comeback game. I think that this is going to be a loss, but I think the Bengals are going to look better. And what you're going to see is the Bengals will keep it close. They'll keep
Right.
it tight. It'll be nail biting. It'll be exciting.
Yes.
It'll be riveting. But the Bengals will lose. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like 28-31.
Right.
31 to the Packers. But I think you're going to see a new and revived, enthusiastic Bengals team. And that's
Right.
all that matters, because then the wins can start rolling in. But no quarterback walks in off the street and just starts winning games. That's just not how it's going to happen, but that's okay.
Look, that is a very fair prediction. And I will tell you mine. It's
Oh,
pretty
you tell me
similar.
yours. Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
Okay.
Look, new quarterback. They
Yeah.
said he's a smart. He's going to pick it up quick. He's a quick learner. He's been in a lot of offenses. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been around, and he's a tough
Yeah.
guy, and he's a calm guy.
He's a
Joe
calm guy.
Cool. He's
Joe
in
Cool.
that way. He's like Burrow. He's Joe Cool.
Yeah.
He's cool under pressure.
That's what I meant.
I agree. And I think he's going to develop great chemistry with T. Higgins and Jamar
Yeah.
Chase. But look, he needs a little bit of time. It's a
Yeah.
new offense. And you're talking about Micah Parsons.
Micah
The
Parsons.
Bengals will have no answers at all.
No.
They will have no answers for
None.
Micah Parsons. They will have no
No.
answers for Mike LaFleur and the Green Bays and Jordan Love. He's a very
Jordan
good quarterback.
Love.
He is having one of the best years of his career.
He is.
They're coming off a bye. They're rested.
Yeah.
The Bengals are gonna have no answers.
Nope.
And that is why I'm saying the final score
Give
will
it
be
to me.
Cincinnati 35, Green Bay 28. That's why I'm saying that.
What?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying yes. That would be the final score.
And how does that connect to the things previous you were saying?
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly. So they will have no answers at all.
No answers at all.
Because they will only have questions. Like, who they?
Who they?
Who's your daddy?
Oh.
They're only going to have these questions
Wow.
after the game
Wow.
because they're going to shock the world.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco. And they're back. The Bengals are back.
And they
Get
will all be
excited.
and all
Bengals
the
are
questions will be rhetorical. Like it won't
Rhetorical
be
questions.
where's our
Not even real
bus?
questions. And
Why did we
listen, the
lose?
Bengals, they're
It's going to
one
be things
game-
like how did that hurt?
Yeah.
And
how do you
and-
like that?
And how's
You
the
like
stuff
that?
and feel in the oven? It's all going to be rhetorical
Yes.
questions. They will be asking rhetorical questions. They will not have any answers. They will only have rhetorical questions. You look frozen. But I think I got the point. Boys and girls, if you like this show, you should subscribe. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, do that. And push the button to
Yes.
get notifications.
Yes.
And if you haven't put
Yes.
5 stars in our podcast, you
Yes.
should do that. Even if you don't listen, you can put 5 stars.
it
It
in the
helps us.
Yeah. No.
And
it helps us.
and-
It helps you. You will
it
be on the
helps
show.
you.
We'll show you a review.
And you listen. We give this to you for free. All we ask is that you pay on Patreon. We give you all this knowledge, and then we ask you to go on Patreon.com/DH Sports and just pay whatever you can
Yeah.
for free. And guess what else?
Whatever you can.
I want you to put a comment on the YouTube.
Yes.
Predict
Yes.
Flacco.
How is Joe
Is
Flacco? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be the Flacco we love, and the Flacco we saw before, or is there no more Flacco? Is he flaccid Flacco?
Yes. Please do that. And
Erect
follow the
Flacco,
show.
flaccid Flacco.
Yes. That's all we have. Don't forget to turn on notifications, subscribe, and we finally got a comment. There we go. William Perry.
Comment.
That's all we have.
Thank you, William Petty.
Thank you, William Perry. We will see you next time. So long, sweetie.